Welcome to Money Talks. Today I am going to talk with Lucas. We're going to shoot the shit about investment funnels.
Yeah.
How to make money with investment funnels. So if you're a coach, consultant, service provider, you're making less than $1 million a year, you want to scale your business, you want to double it, triple it, 5x it, 10x it, maybe you want to sit down and listen to this conversation. Hopefully it's going to help you.
Yeah, so the focus for today is sales, what we call a value-driven sales funnel. So me and you are pretty similar in our take with sales. I hate feeling like I'm selling.
Yeah.
Like I hate it. It's not my vibe at all. It's not how I conduct sales calls at all.
Yeah.
Not shitting on anybody who do that, but it's just not my preference. So today we're going to talk about how to set up a funnel where instead of you having to convince your prospects, they actually have to convince you to get into your program. So just to tell the story behind it, how did you discover this? What was your first experience with this?
My first experience was when I was 19. I was selling personal development programs, my own programs. I created this academy. We had like NFL players coming in, entrepreneurs coming in, like relationship experts coming in. And it was an idea I had first, of course. First is an idea, and then it becomes reality. And before that idea, I was doing like seminars where people were paying $1,000 for them. So at one point, I was like listening to Ron LeGrand, who is a platform salesperson. And this is 20 years ago. And he was talking about how to sell high ticket, like $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $50,000. So I put together a program, $20,000, and I gave a speech about it. And then there was a qualification process, and there was a value process as well, like in that qualification process. And then I sold my first 20K programs, but it never felt like selling.
No.
It never felt, so that's the whole art. Like I hate selling to somebody. I don't want to convince anybody about, I'm actually famous for not convincing anybody about shit. Like I'll go the opposite direction. So I see a lot of good people out there who teach like objection handling. We don't really emphasize on objection handling on our sales teams. Like you do handle objections once in a while. I do them too. Like we can do it. But it's not like an art or like an important thing to work on our team because our sales funnel is just set up in such a way that we have world-class closing rates. Our closers close, what is it, like between 70 and 80, 90%. Like that's crazy, 70 to 90%.
From the closing call, of course, there's a process before that. But when they actually come to on the deal making, the decision call, like the average right now is 85%.
85%.
Actually say, yes, I want to do this.
Yeah, and it's of course different from each business, but we've also had like runs where it's at least 70%, right?
Yeah.
In other businesses.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've had anything lower.
And it's just it's all about the framing. Like my introduction to sales was in a call center. I was selling like shitty mobile subscriptions to people who didn't want it, and it was just cold calling. And it was all objection handling. Like that was 99% of it, and it's a good skill to have. But it's first of all, the conversations fucking suck. Like you hate sitting there. People tell you to fuck off all the time, and also it's just even when you make the sale, it's very rare that there's like true, genuine excitement of, oh, I paid for this, right? One thing I love about our current sales process is that we have people crying when they get a spot. Literally, we have people crying of happiness, and we people are genuinely excited, right? Because they invested all the way in this funnel, right? They were bought into it. They were not convinced by us. They made the decision themselves from an educated platform. And when we say we don't do objection handling, I mean I don't do active objection handling on the call. Like we have designed our material to handle those objections before they even come up, because it's very low value to objection handling, especially if you're selling something for 20K or even 5K or 3K. It's very low value if I sit here and try to convince you of why you should believe me. So instead of objection handling reactionary. We do it preemptively. We do it beforehand because we've taken the calls. We know what kind of hurdles there is, and we design it in the video material or even in the sales script. Like sometimes I do objection handling, but just not reactionary. I do it before they even say it. For example, with our trading business, a lot of people, they have this thing of trading is like a get rich quick thing, and it's a scammy, and it's not real. So before they even get to that, I start the call with saying, hey, before we even go further with this is our values. You're not going to get rich quick. This is a real education. It's going to take you around 2 years to even get profitable. Like I break it down to them. So instead of them saying, hey, it's a scam, and then I do it, then I did it before they even said it. And now it's very high value because I qualify them on that. The thing that they were going to qualify me on is like, oh, is it a scam? I said, hey, this is our values. Can you live up to that? So I flipped the script completely on them.
Yeah, and I think it's very important to then live those values.
Yeah.
So a lot of people on Instagram will teach sales or on TikTok or whatever, and it's all about the script.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's the least important thing, actually, in my opinion. You need a guideline of how to conduct the calls, sure. But if your process is great, that's something that you literally can learn in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Like that good script, I'll sit you down, boom, here's the script, and you just follow it.
Yeah.
That's not really that important.
No, it's more important than how the mindset you go in with this, like that you have to be okay with losing a sale.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you go into sales calls very scarce and like very afraid of losing the sale, you just come off as very low value.
Yeah.
The perceived value goes way down.
100%. The mindset is 100% why should I work with you?
Yeah.
And it's not a mindset, it's an energy.
Yeah.
It is like, why should I work with you? It's
Yeah.
more than a mindset because like you can be thinking something else in the moment. Like my energy is, I'm here on this call to figure out why I should work with you.
Yeah.
Period. And that energy I give to all the salespeople. Like why should we work with you? Because for you to achieve success, you need to do X, Y, Z, and whatever. Will you do this?
Yeah.
Because we can't have a collaboration and a structure of collaboration unless you do that.
And then some people, okay, how do I then acquire this energy? Well, for me, the way I think is, and what I tell them also on the call is that the most important thing for us is testimonials, real success stories, right? Because it's true. Like all our best performing ads right now, testimonials.
Testimonials.
And it has been that for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So when I say that, it's true. And then I say that's why we have this qualification process, because a success story is 100 times more worth to us than the $5,000 you're going to pay.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and so it makes it less about the money and more about the person.
And I think it depends on the entrepreneur, because of course if you're in business right now, you're doing $1 million, maybe you're getting you're maybe getting a hang of this. But if you're only making maybe 10 20K a month, you're not getting a hang of it 100%, I think. Maybe you are, I don't know, but the thing is, like, you need to sincerely believe and know actually that what you're offering is more worth than what you're charging.
Yeah,
for sure. And especially in the context of the marketplace. Like, okay, this is the package. This is what you're going to pay. Okay, this is what you're going to get. Like, this is what's out in the world. Like, mine is the best. Like, if you don't have that feeling, it's going to be very hard.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be able to do it. I don't know how to do that. Like I only know how to qualify based on what I know. Yeah. And I know this is fucking great. I know you want this goal. You have these problems. It's going to solve it.
And then you qualify based on results. Yeah. Right? That was the big thing, for me at least, is being okay with losing sales because this guy isn't qualified. Right? So.
And there has been a couple of times where, in our work where that has happened for sure.
Yes. Yes. And there's also been a couple of times early days where we brought someone in that shouldn't have been brought in.
And we agreed that person should not have brought in.
That made the standard.
Yeah.
Like, let's not make this mistake again.
Yeah.
But it's also because early in business, you're very scarce. You want the sales. You don't want to give it up. And it's I think for me, it was the most difficult part, was to really detach myself from that, because when you really live it your overall closing rate becomes higher.
Yeah, you
even
need to, yeah,
even when
100%.
you lose those sales, you
100%.
get other sales from more qualified
100%.
prospects.
You need to have a very clear structure of what it is that you are giving and what it is that you want to let into your program.
Yeah.
Period. What are the non-negotiables? Don't negotiate with yourself emotionally on the call because of money.
Yeah.
Because also that's weak, by the way.
Yeah.
You're sitting there and you're like, red flag, red flag, red flag, and then like, okay, I'm gonna take the money anyways.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, and it's not sustainable also business wise.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna have shitty stories, you're gonna have people who wouldn't be there, and also it's demotivating if you are actually creating a program for people to win. If there's a loser in there, right? It's gonna be demotivating for the others also. And for me, it's a very huge step up when you're actually in the sales call, because one of the big objections, especially when you do high ticket, is always money. But when you kind of put aside the money thing and you qualify on the person, it also makes the money thing smaller for them, right? Because if they just feel like, oh, if I have a credit card with 5,000 or 10,000 on it and I can get in,
Yeah.
then the perceived value is way down.
Yeah.
But if it's set up in a way where, listen, you have to do this, you have to be okay with this, you have to understand this, you have to live by these rules, and then I can allow you to pay me.
Yeah, and it's also jumping through hoops because it's not just usually just one call. It's a couple of calls. And some people say, well, that's too much work and stuff like that. But once you have the system up and running, it's not work. It's just running.
Yeah.
So it depends on what kind of system you want. I like the investment funnel because when I am on the closing call, there's zero convention or zero things I need to convince about. Oftentimes, I don't even need to explain what the program is about.
No.
I don't need to do anything. I just need to go in and say, hey, nice to meet you. So the outcome of this call is to figure out like if we should work together.
Yeah.
Like I want to find out why you're a good fit, what your goals are, and see if we can help you.
And especially with
Does that sound good to you? They're gonna say yes. Okay, let's roll it. And then I just ask questions. In the end, I'm gonna be like, well, it seems like congratulations. It seems like you are a great fit because of this, this, and this, and this. So we can definitely make you, help you achieve X, Y, and Z results that you want. So like, are you excited? Yes, I'm excited.
And especially with high ticket sales,
Yeah.
it's like it's so much more important that that they are in that frame of mind, because otherwise they will just have 100 excuses, and people really underestimate how important it is off the call. Like most of the sales made off the call. That's why I would say 80% of our sales process is videos. It's or recorded material or live masterclass. It's not one-on-one. Like that's the reason why ours works so well, is because that is designed so well for them. That when they're not on a call with us, they're getting nurtured, the objections are getting handled, and we have how many steps? It's like 50 plus steps that they get through before they can even pay us money.
Yeah, so it's about 50 steps, right? And people say, oh, that's a lot. But like we're also counting in small emails, reminders, videos, tasks they need to do, support coaches they need to talk with, a live session they need to join, and stuff like that.
A check-in message.
So there's a lot
Yeah.
going on. But the thing is, the reason why we called it an investment funnel is because people buy what they invest in. People are attracted in what they invest in. So, like, let's use it from a dating, what's it called?
Point of view.
Point of view. Like, if you're on a date, a man and a woman is on a date, right? And if the man goes the first 10 minutes, say, hey, do you want to go back to my place? She's going to say no. Okay? So that's not going to work. So if we metaphorically look at like going home and having that romantic connection, that is the close. If we look at it like that, then you want to get to a place where you take the girl out, ideally, and she has a great time, and now she's thinking about you, and you're texting a little bit, and then another great time, and she's thinking about you, and like maybe another great time, and maybe all this time you hang out with other friends. Like imagine you're not just focused on her, you hang out with other friends, she's seeing you, you have a great social life, she's getting into your life, and you're not pushing for the sale. What will happen eventually is the girl will come and ask you, well,
Why
like
are
she
you
will
not taking
push.
me home?
She'll be confused. Why are you not taking me home? That would be that energy from her that she will try to persuade you and get in your pants. And I'm using this example because that is just the world. I'm sorry, like sorry not sorry, but it is how the world works. So if you're in a conversation with a potential client and you're doing the same thing, you're giving great experiences, they're learning, they're evolving every time they interact with you. It's boom, 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 and you're also qualifying. Like you have a certain standard, they will automatically want to close the deal on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's just what I'm saying, like instead of going and asking, a lot of people say, do the call funnel. The call funnel to me is, and it can work, and sure, you should test stuff sometimes with a call funnel because then it will see if there's a viability for actually building the investment funnel, right? But like if you're just doing a VSL and then to call and like that's it, then you're basically asking to let's go home and fuck in the first 10 minutes. That's literally what you're doing.
Yeah.
So just know that the success rate will be lower. But if you can make a business work with that, then when you implement the investment funnel, it's going to fucking 50x.
Yeah.
At least 10x, for sure.
Yeah, you're going to get a lot more out per lead.
Yeah.
And if you see examples, maybe, because we are in the high ticket space.
Yeah.
But if you look at also low ticket, like subscription-based businesses or apps, they do the same thing, just in a different packaging, like a 7-day free trial. It's the exact same principle. Come in and see what we offer, and see how we act, and then you can upgrade, right? And you can stay. So it's both for framing your perceived value higher, but it's also allowing them to get a taste. Especially if you are coaching business, there's a lot of stigma around coaching, right? You will meet the scam objection 100%.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why it's very important to have free material for them to get into your ecosystem and actually see what you're about.
Yeah, we don't get scam things in the end of our calls.
No, never.
Never, right? But there's none of that.
No.
But in another business, we had a sales business, and it was also in that kind of industry where people like, oh, can I get a remote job and stuff like that? And the process was not as long. We didn't get we didn't get many of them, but there would be occasionally somebody who would ask, like my only thing is, I don't know if this is a scam. But the only issue with that business, even though it was a 7-figure business, was the investment funnel wasn't as big.
No.
It wasn't as developed.
No. That was a 1.0.
Yeah,
if you could say that.
Yeah, of the investment. Like a good investment funnel, they are they are walking into your house naked.
Yeah, pretty
They're
much.
going in there and taking off the clothes themselves.
Pretty much.
That's a good investment funnel because they're so wet. Great metaphor.
You really went with that. No, but it's true. It's true, and also, I just know there's a lot of people who can relate to that, of feeling like a sleazy salesman. I know. I fucking hated it when I was in the call center. It's the worst feeling ever. You felt like you had to shower after work because you didn't feel good after the sale. But and also, for me, the way I do sales is very relationship-based. Like, I'm having a chat with a friend. It's very non-pressure. I'm listening to them. I speak 10-20% of the time, and they are just allowed to talk. And like we both just sit as doctors and we do a consultation with them, right? A very friendly consultation, and for me it's enjoyable. Like, I don't do sales calls anymore as much, but when I used to do it, it was much more enjoyable conversations, even from the beginning, right? Because in the beginning, I'm making it very clear. Like, we have this program, right? We have this, and it's high ticket, and it's expensive. But it's not relevant right now. It's full. I can't even give you a spot. You have to go through this first to prove your worth, right? So from the beginning, I've already framed there is this thing, right? Because one mistake I see, and that we've also made with the investment funnel, is that to hammer the free thing too much. Like, oh, it's free, no commitment, it's free. Then it's like a bait and switch when the full program comes. The best variation we've made is be very transparent with what you got. I have this, like, Billy Jean, which is one mentor that I find amazing. He literally says, hey, I'm going to sell you some shit and by the end of this, but I want to give you some free value first so you can see my shit is great. right? So that transparency people will respect, and the people who will fall off from that weren't gonna buy.
There are
anyways.
always people who will be assholes or just weird or not connected with what you value and just not in the same frequency or whatever, just not aligned. They can be good people. I'm just saying, like, you can't worry about that.
No, but they weren't gonna buy anyways.
That's it. Some people will just not buy.
Yeah,
Usually because they're assholes. There's no other reason.
yeah, there's only one reason why people don't buy. Yeah, they're either great people or fucking assholes.
That's it. The world is pretty black and white. So, yeah. Like, and another thing that's important that I touched on is people buy what they are invested in. So if we talk about this a little bit, like, sure, you should do stuff for your customers. I don't disagree with that. But there's a psychological nuance here that's important, is how you set it up. Because value can be stuffed down the throat of a person. Like, you can say, hey, take this, and I'm giving so much value. Look at me, I'm so awesome. That's great. And then the people who fuck with it, they fuck with it. Or you can set up a process that is sneaky in a good way, where it's designed to, like, make them grow.
Yeah.
So your manipulation is, I'm going to manipulate you to become better.
Yeah. Yeah, very true.
So you set it up, so you say, okay, this is the first piece. This is going to make you so interested that you're like, fuck, I can't, fucking wait for the next piece. And the next piece, and the next piece. And if you build that ladder, then what happens is the investment happens gradually. First, they spend, example, in the trading business, like, learn how to, we created a great infographic. It went on for, all our start packages when people come in, how to learn, how to make your first trade in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And there's a system to it, like there's 7 steps to it, plus 2 preparation steps or something like that. It's 2 missions, right? One with 7 steps and one with 2 steps. Boom. But it's clear. And it's like nobody who's ever traded before, they will make their first successful trade in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And people are like, fuck, I want to go through that.
Yeah.
And it's visual. It's nice. Yeah. So they look at it and they're like, oh, and they're here. No, of course I'm going to go through the hour. Then once they've gone through that, then there's the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And the reason why our process is so great in that business is because we have literally created an investment funnel that lasts about 1.5 years. If you look at it. Because we have the master classes, then we have the academies, and we have different academies, and then we have a mastermind that's a year. Yeah. And we are selling them in the first 6 months. Not selling them, we are showing them what the process looks like, what the investment funnel looks like, in a way.
Yeah.
Because it's like, this is what
actually
the next
from day
is.
one.
Yeah,
from day one, we have a video. It's like a 45-minute video. It's called A Trader's Journey. Yeah. And we outline a 24-month to 36 months, so 2 to 3 year journey. Yeah. So we're basically having them invest in us for the next 2 to 3 years. Yeah. Right. And this month we actually upsold, like, our high ticket is around the 5 or 6K. And we upsold them to our mastermind. Over 50% of them who paid the first one actually bought the second one, which is 7 or 8K.
And I know I use the word manipulate, and it's usually used in a negative way. But in this way, in this context, I mean it in a positive way. No, because you want people to grow. Like, you want people to be better. You want people to learn. And sometimes just saying, here's the library, go into the library, doesn't work. No. You need to be like, hey, maybe you want to read this page.
Maybe influence is a better word.
Yeah, influence is a better word than manipulate. You got to influence them. Yeah. Right?
And you have to build, like, what we do is we build them into our dream buyer. Yeah. Right? Before they pay us, we build them into our dream buyer. What does if we take the trading business as an example, our dream buyer is already set up with trading, knows how to trade, right? That's the infographic you were talking about. Yeah. They are invested in themselves, so we have video material on like belief in yourself, and we also have a lot of material on, the breaking free of the rat race kind of thing. Yeah. So mindset stuff on putting yourself on a higher priority, and also the importance of financial freedom, or at least financial security, and realizing, like, how fucked the situation is in 2026. So we are, our materials, building them into our dream avatar. So when they show up on that closing, even at step 1, they might not have been the perfect avatar. By the time they are close at the closing call, they are. Yeah. Right. So that's how we've designed it, and with objection handling in between. Right. For example, one big one is, what is trading even, right? So we have a video that's actually educating on what is trading and why is it not a scam. Like, Why would BlackRock have 1 trillion in a trading portfolio if it was a scam, right? So, yeah, it's
That's a good.
yeah, it's
Good point.
but the best way to start out, if you are right now, you're like, okay, but how do I implement this? The way I would do it is start with a call funnel, like a simple funnel, and then take a shit ton of calls, and then learn the problems, learn the objections that they have, learn who your dream avatar is, and then design the investment funnel from that, right? I would always start with a call funnel, like a simpler funnel, because otherwise you're just designing a shit ton of videos blindly, because what you think might not be the same as what they know, right? So that's that would be step one. I would write down what are the objections that I'm meeting, what was the key aha moments for them with your products, what's their dream outcome, and what's their biggest challenges. And then I would solve those, and I would display all of those, and I would handle all of those objections in a video series, whether it's a masterclass live or it's recorded videos or whatever it might be, or even on calls like preemptively. I would design it based on those 4 things.
Yeah. That I would do, and I would also do it in a context of the objections on you specifically. Try to really build rapport. So, and it's going to be hard because if you're the face, people are not always going to be honest. But if you're good at challenging people and make it safe space, sometimes you will get answers that surprise you. It's not always, but you can. For sure, if you do a lot of calls, you will figure it out. And you need to be somebody who's good at like figuring shit out.
Yeah.
Or else this is not going to work.
No.
You need to partner with somebody who is. But like, do a lot of calls and then figure out like on a scale from 1 to 10, like where are these people when it comes to their belief in me and trust in me as a person? If you're the face of the brand.
Yeah.
If you're not, is like in the person who's the face of the brand.
company. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that the person there is really important. But you can also, when your company gets bigger and it's not just you, it's the person who is the role model, who is like the speaker, and then there's the company in itself. Because also they can love this person, go through the process and have like a lot of fucked up conversations with people. Like we were just in a business, we just started out, and the salespeople were new in it, and it came to the closing call. I was the one closing. I closed the person, but I found out that holy shit, like they hadn't been treated nice. Not in a sense that they were bad people, but just they didn't lack information.
Yeah.
They lacked information, the salespeople. So there was unclarity from this person. And I had 2 calls. The first one didn't buy because of the unclarity. And the trust was broken, right? But the second one, okay, I closed that person. But it's just an example of something, like where specifically they didn't trust the company, which is fine. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Right, when you're starting something. So trusting the company, trusting you, and then it's, of course, trusting your product. And in that, I say also your system. Because you want to, when you sell your product, it needs to be attached to a system that they cannot get anywhere else.
Yeah.
This is the secret.
Yeah.
It needs to be a system they can't find anywhere else. It needs to have like 3 or 4 pillars to it, ideally 3, and it needs to be in some areas unconventional. And it needs to like tell that person that the reason they are not achieving success is because they haven't followed this system, and it's not their fault. It removes fault. Like, okay, because you haven't lost weight, don't worry about it. It's because you've done it the wrong way. You didn't have these pieces. You're not thinking about your hormones, right? You're not doing this with your lifestyle. It's all right. Boom.
Yeah.
So I think creating the investment funnel with the objections, as you said, but covering these 3 points, the person, the company, and the product and system.
Then also the belief in themselves. That's also an important one. It's the belief in themselves. The reason why I like this, the straight line persuasion, is because it makes sales almost like a science. Because I just asked them, okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, how much belief do you have in your own ability to actually reach your goals with this system? 10, right? Okay, how much belief do you have in the company that is the right fit? Oh, it's a 5. Okay, then I know that's the gap. Okay, here's a testimonial. Watch this. Here's a...
Yeah, if you actually want, so Straight Line Persuasion by Jordan Belfort, I think it has 3 or 4 pieces to it. I can't really remember. It's so long time ago. But when I think about it, what I want in an investment funnel is 5 things. I want the company, them to have a 10 out of 10 feeling for the company.
Yeah.
I want a 10 out of 10 feeling in the person that they're interacting with or the brand face. And then I want a 10 out of 10 feeling in themselves that they can achieve success. Do you believe? Because a lot of times it's like the company is great, the product is great, the system is great, but it's like, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I just can't do it. And then what was that, 3? And then number 4 is like the system. Like the system, like do they truly believe that your system is 10 out of 10? And then the last thing is the program that can deliver on that system. If you have those 5 things covered, they will buy. It's impossible not to buy.
Yeah.
Like,
unless they literally don't have a dime to their name.
Yeah, and usually if it's 10 out of 10 on these things, they will find the money.
Yeah.
They will, go and sell their motorbike, or they will go
Whatever
and go take a loan, or they will do whatever it takes usually.
Yeah.
I mean, there are instances where people just can't do it, but usually if it's 10 out of 10 on these, they will do whatever
Yeah,
the fuck
and
is
following
needed.
this scale also makes it a lot easier for you to track, because something you could implement today is ask those 5 questions. Just tell them, hey, I just want to feel you out where you are. Because the way I frame it is the reason why I'm asking this is because it's very important for me that if we make this decision together, there's a full harmony in this decision, and that you really will feel good about this. Ask them, scale of 1 to 10, how much do you believe in the company, like that we can produce results for you? Scale 1 of 10, how much do you believe in your own ability to do it? And scale 1 to 10, how much do you believe in this system will work? That's the 3 I usually do, because they also cover the 2 others.
Yeah.
And then you can write it down. Okay, she was a 7 here, she was an 8 here, and she was a 10 there, right? And then after you've taken 50 calls, then you can see a pattern. Okay, there's a lack of trust in my company. They really believe in my system, and they really believe in themselves, but there's a lack of trust in my company. I have to push more social proof, or I have to whatever. I have to design my journey more to this. So it really makes it a lot easier for you to manage. Right, and like Tony Robbins always says, you can't manage what you don't track. So if you track all of this, then it's very easy for you to manage where are the gaps,
Where are the bottlenecks,
and you can also
in your journey.
and you can also tailor the journey, because obviously we have a framework that everyone goes through, but there's also a lot. We have hundreds of hours of bonus material, like, oh, you're lacking trust in this, here's that.
Exactly, and that's my point. So when you get on these calls, you create the investment funnel. That's what we're trying to communicate, because a lot of this can be done in the process. When we say investment funnel, it's a process the client goes through to better themselves.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a process the client goes through to better themselves in the subject that you're teaching.
Yeah.
So it's a growth process.
Yeah.
So a part of that growth process is like, uncovering your limiting beliefs. So some people will be, you have to be very technical to trade.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be very technical to do a trade.
No.
Right? So we make it very simple and we break it down. Say maybe you want to break free from the rat race and you're considering trading, but you're like, can I do this? I don't understand how to use like technology. Well, here is the systems that we use. Like MetaTrader, like whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And we show them this is something you can learn in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and by the way, we're not traders at all. We've just we've partnered up with someone who's a great trader. Actually, he's ranked number 4 in the world.
Yeah.
But he has no business sense, so we helped him with the whole business. He's an educator.
And that's my point. Is like we created a system so we could understand it. Because it's sometimes you get into your head because you know the subject so well. I see sometimes I was working with this great woman. She's a hormone expert, but she used all these technical terms, technobabble, right? It's just like, it's gibberish to these people.
Yeah.
Like, you are going to sound intelligent, but they're not going to learn anything from it.
No.
You don't want that. You want to get people down to like, in your investment fund, you want to speak to people like they're literally 12 years old. I used to say to Abdel, who's our partner, speak to your daughter. Back then she was 8. I think she's 11 now. But I used to say, your 8-year-old daughter, I want you to make the videos like you're speaking to her. And I actually challenge them sometimes. Okay, I want you to sit down now with Zoe and deliver the material, and I need her to do the assignment. Can we do that?
Yeah.
And we actually even made an ad like that, I think.
Yeah.
Or something like that with her.
Yeah, and the reason why it's so important is because there's probably a lot of people watching who are very good in their field, but maybe not as good as sales or as educators or whatever. The thing that happens is that they get a lot of belief in you because they can see, this is a very smart person, know all the technical terms, but they lose a lot of belief in themselves. So the scale is tipped. So they might be 9 or 10 on you, on your ability to actually around your professions and your knowledge, but they lost all the belief in themselves because they didn't understand a word of what you're saying.
Yeah, we need to dumb it down. Like, and think about it. Like, you don't talk in a way that's advanced with your friends.
Yeah.
Like, so talk to them like you would with your friends.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about like being an idiot, but I'm just talking like normally when me and you talk, like
We're not
everybody
trying to
can
impress each other.
we're not trying to impress each other. We're just hanging out,
Yeah.
having a good time.
Yeah.
So it's the same way you should speak to your people.
Mm.
And a lot of smart people, intellectual people, PhDs, whatever, they have a hard time understanding this.
Yeah.
Like your PowerPoint presentation shouldn't look fancy.
No.
And there's made studies on this, like several studies. I wish I had someone in mind, but there's so many studies that are made that the way you communicate should be like the lower level you're communicating, the more efficient your communication is going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, people will read your stuff longer. They will see your videos longer. They will do the actions you ask them for if you speak to them like they're in high school.
Yeah.
In the language.
Especially
Sometimes, sorry, this is the last point, Lucas. This, like, I think you do the same thing on ChatGPT. If I want a copy, like let's say I want to create something that should be read by hundreds or thousands of people, then always what I do is I say dumb it down so a 15-year-old can understand it.
Yeah.
And then I look through it after that.
Yeah. True. True. Especially in this day and age where people's attention span is so low.
Yeah.
You will lose them after 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If it's too complicated.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah. What else? Another example is our new business, like the way we set that up, right? Because in the training business is with a lot of one-on-one attention, but we automated it more there because we just had too many leads to even sit one-on-one, and it was a new business. We had to test it out. But the way we designed that was through surveys, right? So that's another way. If you have a big crowd and maybe you don't want to sit on a lot of calls, a great way to get that data in to make your investment funnels is by surveying your audience. Like, what's your biggest challenges? What's your biggest goals? And the one question we always ask is, if I created a truly high ticket program of $10,000, what would you like it to include? For it to be 100% worth the price, right? That's a great question because you're actually having them tell you what they want and what they will pay for. And then you design the investment funnel based on that. Problem A, problem B, goal A, goal B, and then design the package based on that. That's a great way of doing it.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think another point is that, well, maybe we should include people in how we do it. So if I sit down and I want to create an investment funnel, I'm going to think about the end outcome. Like, where is this person? Let's use something that everybody can understand. Sales. Let's say you're selling a program that helps people to become better salespeople, for instance. But that can look different. It can have many different ways of looking, right? But they're gonna be better salespeople. Okay, so that's the dream scenario. Maybe I'm gonna specify it even more. Okay, they are going to know how to do high ticket sales.
Yeah.
Just high ticket sales. They're gonna be high ticket closers. A lot of people like to be that now, right?
Yeah.
That could be one sales program. Another program would be, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to set up your high ticket sales funnel. That would be a different program. So the outcomes needs to be very specific, of course. So I think that's first step. What else? Then we design the road after that. Pretty much simple.
Yeah, reverse engineer it.
Reverse engineer is very simple. Like, what is step 1? What is step 2? What is step 3? What is step 4? What's step 5? And then I want a journey that maybe take, like, I'd say our best funnels, anything less than a week, I wouldn't recommend. Like, I'd say a week. Sure, we have done stuff where it's like in 48 hours we get sales, right? Because like the process is just so amazing in 48 hours, 72 hours. But
that's also new business.
New business stuff. Like if you want to really have an investment funnel that works, you will want, the ideal time I think is 2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 or 3 weeks on average. Something that's without tracking it too much.
It also depends on your product, etc. Like what you're selling,
how much condensing needs to happen.
Yeah, and also what kind of avatar it is, because people can come in from different levels, right? So awareness levels, either they are that's very important when you design the investment funnel. You need to know the different awareness levels, because there's the journey will differ compared to where they are. For example, if they are problem aware, that means that they know. Let's take the beauty business as an example. They know they have a problem that I'm getting older, I'm getting more gray, I'm maybe putting on weight. They know I have this problem, but I don't know the solution, and I don't know any product to solve it. That's like the below that, it's unaware, completely unaware, don't know anything, but they're going to be very difficult to sell. But that's like the lowest level of where you can sell people. And then we have actually solution aware. So they know they have a problem, they know the solution. So now you just need to give them the product, like the system. They know there is a solution to their problem, and then that journey is very different, because if they're problem aware, you first have to educate them about the solution and then about the product. If the solution is already there, you just reiterate the problem, you reiterate the solutions they've already had, and you give them the missing link. Right?
That's a good point. Actually, now I come to think of it, I've probably never worded it like this, but the way I see it is like you have 3 phases in your investment funnel. You have phase 1 is the hooking them.
Yeah.
They need to get hooked on the journey. I want to learn this, or I want to go down this path with them, like in some kind of way. So that's the first. The second thing would be the system. It's conveying the system.
Yeah.
And the third part
It's
is
the product.
program, and how that, so there's phases. And this can take 2 weeks, it can take 3 weeks, it can take a week, it can take 72 hours.
It depends on
48
their
hours.
awareness level.
Yeah.
It really depends on their awareness level, because if they are over here in problem aware, then you hook them with reiterating problems, reiterating dream scenario, and then you have to get them over here and educate them about the system, right? And then you put them over to the product, educate them about the product. But if they're already also, because some people are product aware, right? So that could, for example, be, let's say you're selling skincare, right? They've tried 10 different skincare products, so they know their problem, they know the solution, and they know products. But then you just have to convince them that your product is better than the others.
Yeah, and skincare is of course lower ticket. Now we're talking about generally high ticket, but it could work in the same way. Like it could be a fitness coach, right?
You've tried different other fitness coaches. You know the product. This is the missing link. This is why we're better.
It's very few people who just go directly to the program, but they exist. Also because usually if you're working with me, your price is going to be high.
Yeah.
So you're going to probably be in the higher end of the competition. It's not always like that. We have made businesses where we're in the low end, but that was a strategic move, right? Yeah. But usually you want to be in the higher end.
But even if they are all the way over in product aware, you still want them to take the full journey. It just doesn't have to take as long.
Yeah.
So you still want to reiterate the problems. You still want to dig into the problems, maybe make them even more problem aware.
This is a good point. This is a very good point. This is a very good point. Before I forget it, the reason why it's such a good point you're making is because, like, what we're doing with the investment funnel is we're making tailor-made.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to do that. You need to have system and processes that can scale, that are tailor-made. So it's like, okay, this person just needs, like, he's ready. Okay, if you're ready, then it's just this, this, and this. Like, if somebody's saying they're ready, I wouldn't let them go through 2 weeks necessarily.
No.
Like, that would be stupid. But I would want them to understand what is the system. I would want them to understand what is the program and our values, and I want to qualify them with that.
Yeah.
So you can't just get on a call and buy.
No.
Like, you just literally can't, unless I'm convinced that you understand these things.
And also,
then I will qualify you right there on the call on these things.
Yeah.
Then I'll be like, okay, do you understand the system? Tell me back the system. Okay, I'm going to show you what the system is. Are you fully aware? Because this is what you're going to learn. Okay, great. The second thing is the program. Okay, this is the program. This is our values. Do you fuck with these values? This is going to be not the language, but the communication. Do you fuck with these values? If they fuck with them, great. We can go and make success together. So you need to be adaptable. And I think the best salespeople, Jordan Belfort also talked about this, you need to be adaptable.
Yeah.
Like, everything we say needs to, like, you need to be able to be fluid.
Especially in the beginning, right? Because now we are less adaptable.
Yeah.
Just because all the processes are set up.
Yeah.
All the scenarios have been made, so we just have a process for each scenario.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, you have to be fluid, right? Because you cannot marry to one path.
No.
You have to be able to, okay, because maybe this one works even better. But you also made a good point. Like, sometimes people will be very eager to, okay, I just want to go there now. And I've had experiences with those where I got excited with them, And then I tried to push them to sales, and they actually ended up getting like remorse, like buyer's remorse from that. So sometimes, even when they are up there, it's very good to keep your frame and like
Be
put
calm.
put a hand on their
Yeah.
chest and say, I know you are really excited about this,
But let's be calm.
but if we're gonna do this together, and I say it like this because we have a like, this is from a pre-qualifying standpoint. I say it like this, just to give you a actual good chance to get in, go through this for me first.
And that's so true. That's so true. That's a judgment call that you have to make on the call. That's something I would do. If it's somebody who is young and eager and just like, I would never do that.
Yeah.
But if it's somebody who is like, I can see clearly I've made the decision, like he's somebody who's making good judgments in general in his life,
Yeah.
I have judged.
Yeah.
Like this is a neuroscientist. He's sitting there with me
Yeah.
or something like that. And
Yeah.
he said, this, and this, I'll be like, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Let me just make sure you understand the things.
Yeah, but if it's just because he saw like a nice ad or a nice video,
Yeah,
and now he's running, then
That's a good point you're
Yeah.
making. That's actually a really good point because what you're doing there is you're regulating their nervous system.
Yeah.
So basically, they have all this excitement, and what you're doing is like, I know you want this. Vroom. You're not taking it away from them. You're just saying, let's do it in a calm pace.
Yeah, and I learned that the better way.
Yeah.
Like, cause I used to get shaky with them.
Yeah.
Like I used to, okay, let's go.
No.
But now I just learned that like actually
That's a very
taking
good point.
taking a step back
Yeah.
for them,
Yeah.
it also builds so much more trust.
So much more trust.
And it also makes them so much more invested in
Yeah.
it. And those are the type of people that don't, not only buy the first program, but they also buy the second and third.
Yeah.
Right. So because they saw, wow, I was excited. I had my credit card ready in my hand, but he still told me to go through
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And it makes the process more real.
Yeah.
Right, like, because that's one thing a lot of people fail on
Yeah.
is like they say they have an application process, but it doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
Right, but it feels very. I'm saying this like, listen, I have your best interests at heart. I
Yeah.
know you want to go directly to
Yeah.
it now, but if I send you to our decision maker right now, he's gonna reject you.
Yeah.
If you don't go through this.
Yeah, we just don't do things like that because one, we want you to really make a decision that's, with your mind and heart together. Like you need to have been thinking about this,
Yeah.
thought it through, and know that this is the right thing for you, not just on a hunch.
Yeah.
That's just how we roll here because we want success stories and we want you to go through all 4 months of the program and succeed.
Yeah.
And that is one of the requirements we have. You can't really argue with that.
No.
Like okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then we just use our track record. Listen, we have 95% graduation rate.
You're not gonna fuck that up.
The average is 15 to 20%.
Yeah.
And in our industry, even lower.
Yeah.
And that's because we have this process.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna go around with that.
Yeah.
And then also it's just like prove it to me because I know like right now you're telling me. I want you to show me, right? You're telling me that you want to do this, but show me by going through all this material, doing your homework assignments, because that's also what we have. We have homework assignments to each, so they actually go in and they
Yeah.
deliver homework.
Yeah.
And then, because then I can say, okay, then I have a very good case for you.
Yeah.
You showed up, for example, our current funnel is a masterclass,
Yeah.
a live masterclass. You
Yeah.
showed up all 6 days. You were
Yeah.
there for 2 hours. You did your homework
Yeah.
after. That's a good case for me to send on.
Yeah.
Right, to our decision maker. But just for me to say, oh, he has good energy, we have too many applications. So they're going to respect it a lot more.
And one thing I think that's important for people to understand is the frame. Like having a strong frame, what it means.
Yeah.
Because when I think about it now, it's like really you're putting yourself above them in some kind of way.
Yeah.
And that's not always the natural or healthy way to do in a communication, but in this instance, you need to not it's not like you're looking down on them, it's more like you're asking them to prove themselves, literally.
Yeah.
And I think the best investment funnels are set up like that. If people can't do that, then they don't want to learn from you.
Yeah. And you can do it in a very non-cocky way.
Yeah,
So
it's not cocky at all.
No.
Because it's also like the metaphor I'm seeing in my mind is like, or not metaphor, I don't know what the English word for it is. English is not my first language, but what I'm saying is like, instead of just teaching to people, like I don't give advice to people just out of nowhere.
No.
Like just going up and, hey, by the way, you should do this with your kid, and by the way you're eating, like you don't do that. What you do is when somebody asks you, hey, Neil, like what do you think about this situation with my kid? What should I do? Be like, interesting. Now sit down, let's talk. That makes sense. So you're just making an environment where that is possible.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And the way we teach our salespeople to do so is by actually making themselves smaller. So it doesn't feel like a cocky way. We don't give the power to the salespeople to sit there like, I make they make themselves smaller. Like, listen, I cannot promise you anything.
Yeah.
That's a phrase we use a lot. Listen, I want your best interest. Go through this, then that makes my case easier for me to the decision maker, right? So they make themselves smaller, which makes the company seem a lot bigger, especially if they have some kind of rapport with the sales rep.
Yeah.
And then they see, oh, he's just one little nail in a very big operation.
And what he's saying is true, by the way.
Yeah.
So everything he says is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just when you say like, oh, you have power over them, people can just misunderstand. Like that's not how it feels on the call. The rapport is very equal.
Not at all. Not at all. It's very equal. That's good that you say. I'm just trying to put, the psychology behind it.
Yeah. It's just that it's normally I've heard the phrase that you are a slave to your customers.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just not how we operate. Not that they're our slaves. That's not how we operate either. But it's just we have standards.
Yeah.
Right? We have standards in the frame, fit in it or not.
That was an example that got us irritated one time. Remember, we were in a certain city. Mm-hmm. We were going there, and we wanted to go and buy a Ferrari. Mm-hmm. Or we wanted to go and look at the Ferraris.
Yeah.
And we went there, and we were stopped at the gate.
Yeah.
And we were not allowed in. Literally.
Yeah.
And we figured out, like, the way they roll there was just, like, that's just
appointments only.
And then we had to follow through.
Yeah.
And we were in that city next time 2 weeks after.
Yeah.
So what we had to, this was during Christmas time. So we had to go back. I had to call the dealership. I had to make an appointment. And then when we call, I'm so sorry, this is just how our process is, and da-da-da. Sure. And when I look at it, it's genius in a certain way because it just puts the value so much higher. And when you enter in there, you felt like, okay, I worked to get here.
Yeah.
You can discuss whether that's always a good thing to do or if there should be other ways to handle that situation. But I'm just saying, like,
especially if you're selling a premium product like Ferrari is, they need to keep that illusion or whatever up.
Yeah. And I think it's different for different cities and where you are in different dealerships and stuff like that. But that was just how it worked with this particular dealership. Yeah. And no amount of money could probably open that door. I don't care if you sat there with like literally suitcases with money ready to buy.
No, because that's their frame.
That's their frame, and that's what the person there is hired to do. And
they're just there, so you can't even get mad at them because they're just following a process.
And then when we're there, she's so lovely, so helpful, giving so much. Like, you want something to eat, you want something to drink. Like, it's like, wow, okay, you're very friendly.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just their framework. You have to you have to follow their structure.
Yeah. So you have to build that structure.
Yeah.
For your prospects to be in.
Yeah.
Right? You have to have that frame.
Yeah.
And they have to fit into that box. And if they don't want to, that's okay also.
Yeah.
Right? You don't force people into to your network.
No, you don't do that.
You create an environment that's great for your dream avatar.
Yeah.
And it should repel everyone else.
I think we've covered the most. Let's do a recap because see if there's any holes we need to look at in the end. But like basically, we explained the psychology behind the investment funnel.
Yeah.
We explained what it is. Mm-hmm. We've given examples of content that you can put in your investment funnel. Think about hook. Think about system that nobody else has in the world, and then think about program. I think with the system we could touch a little more on that in a few minutes. So system, let's touch a couple of minutes on system, and then what else did we talk about? We've talked about like how to conduct the calls, the frame, right? What else have we talked about that's been essential?
We spoke about. We spoke about having like checking the temperature and tailoring the actual journey to each prospect.
Yes.
And
that's an important thing. So the reason why I do this is because I wanted to see if there's any holes here, and I see one hole is maybe the system that we haven't touched on too much. Because for me, what I want is I literally, and I've said it, but I want a system so good that they want to buy the program because the system. That's not always possible, but that's the dream scenario. We want a system so good that when they understand the system, they're like, where can I get this system?
And you're the only one.
And you're the only one having the system. If you can do that, man, that in itself, if you can take that one thing away from today, that's going to make you so fucking powerful. So maybe you need one video explaining the system. Maybe you need two videos. Maybe it needs to be like. But when they and of course, the better the system is, the faster it can click for them.
Mm-hmm.
But when it clicks, they're like, oh, "Holy fuck, this is what I want."
Yeah.
So yeah. So some advice there that, or at least what we do is always I look at how to make it explainable in a very simple way with an infographic.
Yeah.
Like I want a visual of the system.
Mm-hmm.
If I cannot explain it in a system, how am I going to how they're going to understand it?
Yeah. And how they're going to believe it.
And how they're going to believe it.
Yeah.
So I think the explanation needs to be on point, and usually it's 3 steps.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be like, stop doing this, instead doing this. Stop doing this, instead doing this. Stop doing this.
People buy for speed.
Yeah.
Speed is like the number one factor. So the more simple you can make it feel like, and the more simple and fast you can get the result, is still the completely undefeated selling trigger.
Yeah.
And you can only explain that by having a very clear system.
Yeah.
Right. Otherwise, where's the speed coming from? Then you're just talking.
Then you're just talking. So let's talk a little bit about like the latest system we've created.
Mm-hmm.
Let's end with that. With the beauty
Yeah.
system. So what was the name we decided on it?
So it's a 360-degree beauty transformation system, right? So there's 3 components to it, and the basis of this is that it's, again, like you mentioned earlier, it's not your fault that you haven't lost weight or become more beautiful or still look young. It's because you've followed the wrong system, right? And it contains three things. It contains your hormonal balance, right? So a lot of people have fitness programs, but they're not talking about hormonal balance. Like ours is for women 40 plus and 50 plus. So a big factor for them is that their hormones, their estrogen goes down, and it actually makes and their cortisol peaks, so they can't lose weight.
No matter what they do, by the way.
No matter what they do. So that's the missing link, right? But even that first component is like, you've tried everything, you've eaten healthy, you've worked out, but you still haven't lost weight.
Yeah. And there could be a lot of things going into that. There could be the estrogen, it could be the sleep, it could be the diet, it could be a lot of lifestyle things, work. But like, if it doesn't matter, like if you focus on what all the fitness coaches are telling you, like just count your calories, just exercise.
It's not going to work for you.
It's not going to work for you specifically. And that's a big eye opener for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So just because of that component, now they want to work with you. But you have 3 components in this program, right? We built 3 components so they can really understand. And it's also important to mention what is the outcome of the program. So in this specific outcome program, it's for women between 50 to 65 who wants to lose weight and become the most beautiful version of themselves. Attractive again, right? And feel attractive again. So like the first thing is the hormone thing, the inner balance with that. The second thing
is their lifestyle.
So instead, it's like, stop doing what all fitness coaches are telling you. Instead, focus first on the hormonal balance. Right? Then we have the lifestyle thing.
Right. So a lot of fitness coaches, they give you a 3-month plan, right? You eat fucking broccoli every day and you work out 2 hours a day and whatever, and they lose weight for 3 months. But especially for these women at this age, it's not sustainable. Honestly, for all ages. So they just end up gaining that weight again forever. So we made the second component, and it's a sustainable lifestyle.
Yeah, so stop following the ordinary plans. Instead, create a sustainable lifestyle.
So we create a plan for them that's a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
Like something you can do for the next 10 years and something you enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we changed their mentality about exercising. So instead of exercising being something boring, like going up and lifting weights, which is boring for a lot of these old women, we get them dancing and burning calories from dancing. Or
with a dancing coach.
Yeah,
like
with a dancing coach. And she's
award-winning.
Award-winning, do vacations where they fly to Spain to meet her and they dance together for a week. So we changed their relationship on how it is to actually do the things that are good. Or it could be like having healthy recipes that actually taste good.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden this lifestyle is sustainable because you're enjoying it. And the most powerful thing for habits is, and this is also part of the system, is like the atomic habits. Make habits feel good. Right? Instead of it being a duty, now it's something that adds to your life. Right. So that's the second component. Third component is your beauty, your outer beauty, right? So we have the most famous stylist and beauty guy in Denmark. He's a celebrity. He's done Paris Hilton, whatever. He teaches them how to do makeup, find the right hairstyle, and whatever. And it just builds into each other.
Yeah, but like the thing with that, so he's done Paris Hilton, Nicki Minaj, like Nicole Kidman, like a bunch of celebrities, like the royal family, Tommy Hilfiger family. Like he's the real deal. So, anyways, that beauty component is the real deal. The hormone component is the real deal. We have an expert with 25 years of experience for that. And the exercise and lifestyle, we have like the award-winning coach for that, and or dance instructor, and then we also have another like award, and I would say award-winning, but like a top coach for that.
Yeah.
My point is that the system is really thought through. The system is amazing and it's world class.
And it's unique.
And it's unique, and you can't find it anywhere else. It's going to solve their issues, and they're going to see it as their missing link. And every component of these three components work with each other. So it's like when you start taking care of your hormones, you're feeling better, you're seeing the changes, now you're going to be more motivated. Now the lifestyle changes, you're going to follow them better and easier. You want to do that because you feel better. Now that's going to feed in because now you have more discipline with it, and now you're going to get even better results. That's going to feed into you feeling even better. And then, on top of this, you're going to look amazing. You're doing your hair, you're doing your makeup, you're doing, your pedicure, your manicure, all that good stuff. And you're feeling even better because when you look at yourself in the mirror and you look more attractive, you're going to do more. So, of course, you're going to go back to like focusing on your hormones. And it's just this cycle that's just going to make you do the good things. When you look good, you're going to feel good, you're going to do what's good for you. You're going to stop eating that cake. So it's just a system that feeds and builds momentum.
And again, it's unique. No, like everybody talks about those outcomes, like being feeling younger, having more energy, and losing weight and whatever. But nobody has that system, especially for those women, because it's so tailor-made for a very specific avatar. It's not just lose weight.
No.
It's lose weight and become the most beautiful self if you are between 50 and 65.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, that's the system. It's very important. And we're probably going to talk more about that and how to build your offer, etc. But I don't know about you. I don't have anything else. I think we covered everything. Yeah.
Good. Let's do it.
Great.